Before he had his stroke, Dad came to live with my husband John and me. It was a challenge. I mean, my folks had been divorced some 30 years, and my relationship with Dad was still tricky. We had to get to know each other again. And then, during his time with us, I was doing a show about my quirky French-American family. And Dad, with support from my husband John and a walker, came to see it. I had not sung for my father in those 30 years. I introduced him. He was sitting right over there, and he greeted the audience, comme ça. And when it was all over, well, I think he was happy. He parked himself in the banquette right outside, and he greeted curious friends, and he chatted them up and talked to them about stories about Morocco and Casablanca and France and movies and me, and then he was in his element. I mean, he was Pierre, the storyteller, the charming restaurateur, the owner of Pierre's restaurant. About a week later, I went to see another cabaret show. And I left Dad and John home to watch the Summer Olympics. When I got home, Dad was still up. He had a few things to say about water polo. But then he asked me about the show I'd seen, and he had some questions about cabaret as a genre, as a means of expression. And we got around to talking about my show and storytelling. He wanted to know how it came together, the music and the stories. Well, I tried to explain to him that I chose songs that wove into the stories I wanted to tell. And he grabbed my hand. He gave me that look of recognition. He said, "Didi, I see what you are trying to do." It got late. He gave me a kiss, made his good nights. And that was the last time my father and I had a conversation in English. In the weeks and months that followed, as Dad slowly emerged from the fog of a major stroke, I was frantic to find ways to communicate with him again. I took French lessons, and starting with Trenet, I knew he liked Trenet. I downloaded Tata's albums. I was back in the pantry. But this time, I got to take Pierre with me. So we listened to Trenet and Monton, Aznavour, and Patachou. It took a while before we got to Piaf. He told me he didn't like Piaf. He once told me, and he thought this was his word, it's a street. My father was a bit of an aristocrat. Piaf, not so much. But she wrote lyrics about unconditional love. And I wanted him to hear those words. So, like I said, I talked with my father and I read to him in French. And we watched old movies together. And I played my favorite songs from the pantry from my father, Pierre, on good days. It was wonderful. Non, ce n'était pas ça. Papa, c'était formidable. If the sky should fall into the sea, and the stars fade all around me, for the times that we have known here, I will sing a hymn to love. We have lived and dreamed with your love in a world that seemed our very own, with its memories ever grateful just for you, I'll sing a hymn to love. Je renierai ma patrie, je renierai mes amis, si tu me le demandes. On peut bien rire de moi, je ferai n'importe quoi, si tu me le demandes. Quand tu me prends dans tes bras, tu me parles tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Tu me dis des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est toi pour moi, moi pour toi dans la vie. Tu me l'as dit, la j'aurai pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens en moi mon cœur qui bat. Nous aurons pour nous l'éternité dans le bleu de toute l'immensité. Dans le ciel, plus de problèmes. Je réunis ceux qui s'aimaient. So, what can I say, Papa? In the end, what can I say when it comes to le français, les chansons? You always knew there would be time for love and laughter. And you, ladies and gentlemen, here in this cabaret audience, you know there will always be another song about Paris, and there will always be a can-can. Put all these ingredients together, love, laughter, Paris, le can-can, what you get? From the left bank poet Léo Ferré, Paris, canaille, I'll translate. Paris, you rogue, you're a pimp in young girls' eyes. Snip, snip, the accordion can't pay your rent, and your gigolos undress you in the metro de la Bastille. Snip, they get drunk on your petticoats. Flowers are always in season, and young hustlers bring in dough, while old hookers are out of season. Snip, snip, Paris, you party. You pay millions to your poets. Toss me some coins for my song, eh? It rhymes. Paris Marlou, aux yeux de fille, ton air filou, tes vieux guenilles et tes gueulantes. Accordéon, ça fait pas de rente, mais ça c'est bon. Tes gigolos, tes déshabillés sous le métro de la Bastille pour se saouler. Ah, tes jupons, ça fait gueuler, mais ça c'est bon. Bras de lilafre, de panthères, ça fait des tas de petits tapins qui font merveille en toute saison, ça fait doser, mais c'est si bon. T'es des lacroix, bébé d'envers, ça fait des mois qu'ils sont au vert. Alors ces dames font une raison, elles se font béguin, mais c'est si bon. Paris, j'ai bu à ta voix grise, le long de tes rues, tu vocalises. Y a pas d'espoir dans tes haillons, seulement trottoir, mais c'est si bon. Tes vagabonds te font des scènes, mais sous tes ponts coule la Seine pour la romance, la illusion et l'affluence. Mais c'est si bon. égarés dans les faubourgs, pris pavés, où pousse l'amour, ça pousse encore à la maison. On a eu tort, mais c'est si bon. Regarde perdu dans le ruisseau, où va la rue comme un bateau, ça teigne un peu de l'entrepôt, c'est laborieux, mais c'est si bon. Hello, hello, je m'appelle Claudine, and I love French. I love the gestalt of the language. I love its music, its intonations. I love its nasality. I love its crazy, elegant turns of phrase. I've taken to going out of my way to follow French-speaking people who pass me on the street. And if I'm sitting in a restaurant near a French-speaking family, it's all I can do to keep from pulling up a chair and saying, "Bonjour, ça va? Je m'appelle Frenchy, because that's who I am. Papa, c'est moi." Applaudis à la fête des millions, à tes poètes, quelques centimes à ma chanson, ça fait la rime, et c'est si beau.
Ladies and gentlemen, Claudine, Cassan, Jellison.